In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. Yet, before the eternal conflict that engulfs the galaxy, there was an ambitious vision, a vision to unite the stars under one banner. At the heart of this vision stood the Emperor of mankind, a being of unparalleled power, wisdom, and foresight. His quest was nothing short of divine, to bring unity to a fractured galaxy, to herald a new age of enlightenment and progress. To accomplish this monumental task, he conceived his ultimate creation, the Primarchs, 20 genetically engineered sons, each a paragon of strength, intelligence, and virtue. These were no ordinary beings. They were designed to lead the Great Crusade, a monumental endeavor to reclaim the galaxy for humanity, to bring it under the rule of the Imperium. The Primarchs were conceived in the depths of terror, within a secret laboratory where the Emperor himself oversaw their creation. Crafted with the finest genetic material, each Primarch embodied a unique facet of the Emperor's grand design. They were to be generals, leaders, and paragons, each representing the pinnacle of human potential. Yet, in a cruel twist of fate, the primordial powers of chaos intervened. The forces of the warp, malevolent and unpredictable, reached out, and the Primarchs were torn from their gestation pods and scattered across the galaxy. This was not just a physical separation, but a divergence in destiny. Each Primarch landed on a different world, far from the Emperor's guiding hand, and was molded by the culture and environment of their new home, shaping their identity and leadership style. From the harsh ice world of Fenris to the technologically advanced realm of Mars, the Primarchs grew amidst diverse conditions. Each developed distinct characteristics, setting them apart as leaders and warriors. Leman-Russ, the Wolf King of Fenris, was raised among fierce tribes and became a master tactician and a formidable warrior, embodying the spirit of the wolf. His leadership was marked by loyalty and ferocity, traits that would define the Space Wolves, his legion. In contrast, Sanguinius, the angel of Baal, grew amidst the irradiated wastelands of Baal Secundus. With wings as beautiful as they were deadly, he exuded grace and nobility. His empathy and charisma made him beloved by his legion, the Blood Angels, who revered him as a savior. Rogel Dawn, the steadfast architect of the Imperial Fists, hailed from the icy world of Inwit. His strategic mind and unyielding resolve made him the Emperor's bulwark, defending terror with unmatched fortitude. Each Primarch's story was unique, their personalities shaped by the worlds they called home. As the Great Crusade unfolded, the Emperor embarked on a journey of reunification, seeking out his lost sons across the galaxy. Each reunion was a poignant moment of recognition and destiny as father and son met for the first time. The relationships forged during these reunions would be tested in the fires of war and betrayal, shaping the fate of the Imperium. Horus, the first to be found, was raised on the war-torn world of Siphonia. His bond with the Emperor was strong, earning him the title of War Master. Yet, this bond would later be tested in the fires of betrayal, as Horus became the architect of the Horus heresy, a civil war that threatened to tear the Imperium apart. Robut Guilliman, the master statesman of Ultramar, was discovered amidst the thriving empire he had built. His reunion with the Emperor was one of mutual respect, as he brought the might of the Ultramarines to the Crusade, establishing a legacy of order and governance that would endure for millennia. Angron, the tortured gladiator of Nuceria, met the Emperor under tragic circumstances. Resentful of his father's intervention in his rebellion, Angron's relationship with the Emperor was fraught with tension and misunderstanding. His rage and resentment would ultimately lead him down a dark path, as he became a pawn in the hands of chaos. Each Primarch left an indelible mark on the Imperium. Their legacies were as varied as their personalities, shaping the future of humanity in profound ways. Some, like Guilliman and Dawn, left legacies of stability and defense, while others, like Horus and Angron, left scars that would haunt the Imperium for generations. Magnus the Red, the sorcerer king of Prospero, was a being of immense psychic power. His thirst for knowledge and understanding of the warp led him into conflict with the Emperor, who sought to limit the use of such powers. Magnus's fall was one of tragic inevitability, as he unwittingly played a role in the fall of Prospero and the fragmentation of the Thousand Suns. Perturabo, the master of siegecraft, was a Primarch who felt underappreciated and misunderstood. His genius for fortification and warfare was unmatched, yet he harbored a deep resentment toward those he perceived as less deserving of glory. This bitterness would eventually lead him to side with Horus during the heresy, leaving a legacy of destruction and betrayal. Meanwhile, Fulgrim, the Phoenician, exemplified perfection and the pursuit of excellence. Raised on the world of Chemos, he brought the Emperor's vision of art and beauty to life within his legion, the Emperor's children. However, his quest for perfection would prove his downfall, as he succumbed to the insidious whispers of Slaanesh, the chaos god of excess and pleasure. In stark contrast, Vulkan, the Primarch of the Salamanders, embodied compassion and humanity. His upbringing on the harsh world of Nocturne instilled in him a deep empathy for the common man, a trait that set him apart from many of his brothers. Vulkan's legacy was one of selflessness and sacrifice, as he tirelessly worked to protect humanity from the darkness that threatened to consume it. Corvus Corax, the Ravenlord, was a master of stealth and guerrilla warfare. Born on the oppressed world of Lycaeus, he led a successful rebellion against tyranny, earning his people's adoration. He applied these same tactics during the Great Crusade, his legion, the Raven Guard, striking from the shadows to deliver swift justice. Jagatai Khan, the Great Khan of the White Scars, was a nomadic warrior born on the wind-swept steppes of Chogoris. His mastery of mobility and hit-and-run tactics made his legion a fearsome force on the battlefield. Khan's independent spirit and love of freedom often put him at odds with his brothers, but his loyalty to the Emperor was unwavering. Ferrus Menas, the Gorgon of Medusa, was a Primarch of relentless determination and resilience. His hands, encased in living metal, symbolized his unyielding nature. He demanded perfection from himself and his Iron Hands Legion, striving to eradicate weakness in all its forms. Each Primarch story was a tapestry of triumphs and tragedies, woven together to form the grand narrative of the Imperium. Their relationships with the Emperor were as varied as their personalities, marked by admiration, rivalry, and, in some cases, deep-seated resentment. The Emperor, for his part, saw his sons as extensions of his will, tools to be wielded in the pursuit of his ultimate vision. Yet, even the Emperor, with all his wisdom and foresight, could not foresee the full extent of the choices his sons would make. Lorgar Aurelian, the Urizen, was a Primarch who sought spiritual fulfillment. Raised on the religious world of Colchis, he yearned for divine purpose, a yearning that would ultimately lead him down a dark path. His devotion to the Emperor as a god was deemed heretical, leading to his public humiliation and the burning of his cities. This rejection sowed the seeds of Lorgar's rebellion as he turned to the dark gods of chaos for validation. Conrad Kurz, the Night Haunter, was a Primarch haunted by visions of darkness and doom. His childhood on the crime-ridden world of Nostromo shaped him into a ruthless enforcer of justice, his methods as brutal as they were effective. Kurz's relationship with the Emperor was one of fear and loathing, as he struggled to reconcile his horrific visions of the future with his father's grand design. Mortarion, the Death Lord of Barbarous, was a Primarch who embodied endurance and resilience. Raised in a toxic wasteland, he led a rebellion against the tyrannical overlords of his world. Despite his initial rejection of the Emperor's interference, Mortarion eventually joined the Great Crusade. However, the seeds of distrust sown during their first meeting would fester, leading Mortarion to ultimately betray the Emperor during the Horus heresy. In the aftermath of the heresy, the galaxy found itself irrevocably altered. The Imperium of Man, though battered and scarred, stood resilient against the tides of chaos and destruction. The Primarchs, those who survived, became living legends, their deeds and decisions shaping the course of human history for millennia to come. Robute Guilliman, who survived the heresy, became the architect of the Imperium's recovery. With unmatched administrative acumen, he penned a Codex Astartes, reorganizing the Space Marine legions into smaller, more manageable chapters to prevent any single force from wielding too much power. Vulkan, though believed to be lost, became a symbol of hope and endurance, his legacy carried on by the salamanders who continued to embody his teachings. Rogel Dawn, despite suffering immense personal loss, fortified Terra, ensuring it would remain an unassailable bastion. The sacrifices of these loyal sons were not in vain. Their legacies cemented the foundation upon which the Imperium would rebuild and persevere. Yet, the galaxy remains in perpetual turmoil. The traitor Primarchs, those who turned against their father and succumbed to the whispers of chaos, still haunt the Imperium. Their dark influence lingers, a constant reminder of the price of ambition unchecked by wisdom. Lorgar, now a dark apostle, spreads his blasphemous gospel, while Fulgrim revels in excess and decadence. Mortarion, consumed by decay, leads his death guard in unending war against the realms of mankind. In this time of unending war, the stories of the Primarchs serve as both inspiration and cautionary tales. They remind humanity of the heights of greatness that can be achieved and the depths of corruption that can befall even the mightiest of beings. The Emperor's dream of unity and progress continues to flicker amidst the shadows, a fragile hope nurtured by the few who still believe in its promise. As the Imperium faces the threats of the present and the uncertainties of the future, the legacy of the Primarchs endures. Their lives and choices echo through the ages, shaping the destiny of a galaxy teetering on the brink of annihilation. In the grim darkness where there is only war, the Primarchs remain beacons of what humanity can aspire to be and warnings of what it must guard against becoming. The tale of the Primarchs is not just a story of war and conflict, but one of identity, legacy, and the eternal struggle between light and shadow. It is a testament to the enduring spirit of mankind, a saga of heroes and villains, visionaries and tyrants. And as long as the Imperium stands, the Primarchs will never be forgotten, their stories forever interwoven with the fate of the galaxy they once sought to save.